Morning. And today what I want to talk about is two words I think we all need to hear today. And those words are and yet. And yet, and yet, and yet. Because I think life, right? One of the things I've been thinking a lot about working, and we're working on it for a future sermon, is the idea that we're all going to sort of finish up this life and it's going to be an unfinished symphony. We'll have parts that are beautiful, we'll have parts that we've constructed, we've parts that have brought great joy to us, to others, to God, and it's still going to be unfinished. There's still going to be that like, oh boy, it just didn't go all the way that I had wanted it to go, that it was part of my agenda. And I know for me, this is very real, as a pastor and not that I'm at the very end of my career, but I'm definitely coming, into the last chapters. And just that, yeah, this is going to finish as an unfinished symphony. It's not going to go all the way that I had sort of had hoped and wanted, and da 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 da. Lots of many blessings in it, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet. And that and yet kind of does a couple of things for us. One is it grounds us deeply into the Christian tradition. That's so important because so much of the Christian tradition is not this kind of this step-by-step transactional thing. This is how it's going to happen. This is how the story is going to end. And especially if we're really, really focused on Jesus's life, there's no step by step. There's no like, this is exactly the way it was all going to go. I mean, he obviously knew the way it was going to go, but his disciples certainly didn't. And they were certainly disappointed at times. And the story is just, it has an openness to it. Like when Jesus dies and is resurrected, the whole Easter story, that came as a huge shock to the disciples. That was not the way they saw the story going. You look at the famous story of Palm Sunday, not the way people thought it was going to go, and again we have that it's not the way it's going to go, and it actually ends up in a better place, but it's a different place than what we thought. And with the Christian tradition, I think a lot of the time, maybe the most that we get, and it sort of can bring a lot of consolation, is we just get a few little pieces of the puzzle. And the and yet for a Christian, I think, is and yet we hit a hard time, and yet we also know that there's a bigger picture. And yet, there's a bigger picture. There's something far broader than what we can see in the moment. There's something far more beautiful than what we can see at the moment. And that's what we need to kind of lean into, that and yet. And even if you're watching this today and you've experienced something really, really serious, some real challenge in your life yesterday or this week, and you're still kind of carrying it with you, just go back to just taking a breath. And yet. And maybe that and yet is, and yet it's been looking out a our beautiful backyard here, beautiful sky. And yet there's beauty in nature. And yet I have loving friends. And yet I know God is with me. We can look at all those hard things, use the middle phrase, and yet, and have it open us up into a world that is more grounded in gratitude. Now, can we always do that? Can we always see it? No, especially if we're just reeling from a tragic loss that we haven't found our footing. It's almost impossible to do. And yet, I know it can be done. And yet, I know that over time, that's what we're asked to do. And it's not about understanding it all. It's not about putting it all together in this beautiful little logical pattern. It's not about putting together all these answers. It's not about these solutions that are everywhere, because that just tends to not be how life works. It tends to be much more of just this breath and this, and yet there's beauty, there's grace, there's love, there's mercy, there's all of those things, and they are all there in abundance in this world. And we need to continually go back to that and yet statement to open our eyes to them. And that is so much part of the beauty of the Christian message, and why it is indeed called the gospel, which is good news. All right, dear friends, I hope it makes a lot of sense. And what we're going to do now is we're going to come into a gentle landing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little prayer, a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. And then we will say hi to our friends who've joined us on Facebook. So let's get a little breath and a meditation from the Old Testament. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. Well, listen, I'm not actually going to have time. I'm looking at my calendar. I got to sort of bolt off here, so I don't have time to do comments. But please leave your comments. We'd love to respond to them in due course over the day. And just wishing you all the very best. And just remember, if you're having a hard time today, which many of us do, just remember that little two words, and yet. So take care, and a final word about our appreciation for your support of New Church Live. Like our content, it's funded by viewers like you. Please consider becoming a sustaining supporter of New Church Live today. Take care and God bless, friends.